Hello everyone, welcome to the video. My name is Cosolix. Okay, today I'm going to show you the difference between Valhallan gameplay and pro gameplay. So I got two replays here. So this first one, I just played a couple ranked games. I lost the Dark Ooze, he's broken on Mako. But the goal is to show the difference between Valhallan. So I lost to this guy named Chut. I don't know who this guy is, but he was like 2450. He hit Valhallan last season. And I beat him pretty well. Okay, so we're going to watch this replay. And then what I've got here, I actually played against Impala twice yesterday. I'm not going to watch the second game because I actually think I should have won that. I was beating him in neutral pretty consistently. But the first game, he beat me pretty well. So we're going to take a look at how he beat me and how I beat the Valhallan player and just the difference between the two. If you enjoy, like, subscribe, comment. Let's start with the Valhallan player, then we'll get into that Impala set. The difference between Valhallan and pro gameplay is the amount of mistakes. Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys. It's also not just mistakes. It's knowing the tools to find the right answer. Sometimes a mistake just isn't the right answer, and you don't know the right answer, if that makes sense. You could say that with all elo. But at the end of the day, when you're Valhallan, you have these movement options that, like, you know them, right? You've done all the research. You know everything in the game, right? So it's just which tools do you decide to use? Like, for example, something like this. When you're in an obvious disadvantage state, you still have a recovery. You just wasted your dodge. But I would have, like, it's also, you're wasting a bunch of options here. Like, for example, it's one jump, two jumps, dodge, and then trying to go for a landing Sair to land. Like, this is just asking to get punished by a Lance Spire, right? That's a huge mistake, just like right off the bat, right? But you'll see that kind of happen again. So he doesn't land, does the Sair there, but I sidelight a little early because I wasn't expecting the Sair a bit later. But you'll kind of just see this a lot, like when we're in pure neutral. Like, that was good. That D-Light was fine as an extension. That Sair is all fine. I'm just using some tempo. Like this Sair right here, I was just using tempo. Like, I did not think this dare would hit, but I also knew that I've got horizontal movement, so it's like, no way he's punishing it. My Sair, no way he's punishing that. Then he tries to punish it, then I get a dare, right? So kind of just recognizing that position as well is something that pros do a lot better. I almost got that sidelight there. Nice little punish. Again, tempo, and then I got the Sair. I'm just using tempo. That's how I beat most Valhallan players, where I'm almost like spamming strategically. Same like this Sair as well as a follow-up on the Nair, even though like I am trying to hit it, at the same time it creates tempo. This guy tries to punish, can't. I try and punish, but I know I kind of can't. It's just like a fast punish for tempo, and then I get the recovery because of it. Fast punishes create tempo. Tempo, again, if you are new to this channel, it's when you intentionally throw out a move, not necessarily hoping that it lands, but putting making your opponent decide if they should punish it or not, when the move is basically unpunishable and it's too difficult to punish. So like, if your opponent tries to punish, then you're in a better position to punish them. It's essentially another form of pressure, but it's just another word for spamming intentionally. It's like strategic spamming. There's also little things here in terms of movement that you can kind of recognize from a Valhallan to a pro. Like, take a look at this. He kind of pressures me a little bit, right? So he dodges. Now he's kind of vulnerable because he wasted the dodge. So he kind of falls back a bit, right? I do a backdash jump to put myself in this, like, slightly vertical position where I can land a dodge and then Sair like this for aggression, and he has zero stage to work with and kind of immediately tries to run away. But the right answer here is to jump, and just didn't do it fast enough. So then I won neutral. Just little neutral interactions like that. It comes with experience, and then it comes with just learning solutions to different problems, right? Every thing in Brawlhalla, like for example right here, this D-Light, he creates a problem, right? The problem is I want to punish this D-Light as efficiently as possible. However, I'm in the air. What's my best option? Well, D-Light is a really good option because then you're going to get some potential follow-ups, which I don't do here, but he doesn't have a dodge, which enables the Sair, and now I can go for a punish, but I'm trash. But you get what I'm saying. Maybe the D-Light wasn't the greatest tool, but it was an answer. It was a solution, right? Same with that end light. It was a solution. That ground pound was the best solution. It's just, again, Brawlhalla and fighting games in general, it's a lot of problem solving. It's just knowing your tools and then solving that problem, right? Or it's like, oh, I want to land. What options do I have? How can I solve this problem as efficiently as possible? It's essentially one big brain game that you're kind of deciding in the moment. And like, it's not necessarily about thinking about it in the moment. It's just building up habits for good solutions, or solutions that are broken, for instance. That's kind of like the essence of Brawlhalla and fighting games as a whole. So a lot of these neutral interactions, they're just bad answers from this Val. At this point, I was in the lead by so much, I was kind of playing a bit trolly, going for fun stuff. I just remember it. Yeah, side leg nair, like that there creates some tempo. That was actually a really good punish. That was a good tempo from the Val. But yeah, it's just like little like mistakes like this, like being this close to a Lance player and falling into that, fast falling into that Sarah height is just a little... Pros make the mistake, but it's the amount of mistakes you make, which is like the big difference maker. A short recovery to the left might have been a misinput. Doesn't have a dodge. Yeah, I went for the GC downlight ground pound. I just wanted a cool kill, I'm not gonna lie at this point. I could have Sarah'd that. Yeah, you see what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I win this game just with an axe following Sarah. Yeah, I was forcing it. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And it's the same thing, like you're trying to problem solve. So I try and get close to my opponent. I'm trying to force him to use an option. He dodges and feels pressured and then feels like he needs to Sarah. Meanwhile, like that's not the solution to that problem, right? If you're in this situation, for example, maybe don't feel pressured to dodge necessarily. One thing you can do, since axe is very slow and gauntlets are fast, is get up and close with me and get like stacked and try and cross to that right side of the stage where there's a lot more stage control, right? So for example here, not just an animation bug, I'll show you. Okay, so for example, you have all your options. You can go up and over, but then you're kind of contesting with axe nair. You can go down, but then you're contesting axe there, so you kind of gotta be careful. I would probably go straight towards, maybe dodge through, and then take this stage control here, so you're not pressured on the left. What you could do is you could, like, I don't know, empty hop on the ground and try and be in a position where you can kind of react to whatever I'm about to do, and then like kind of mix it up. But I was just forcing him to waste an option and he wastes a bad one, and then boom. Just little things like that. That's the biggest difference. So now let's look at some pro gameplay. Let's take a look at this match against Impala, because he beat me pretty well. It was a very standard match. I made some mistakes for sure. My biggest issue right now when I'm trying to come back is my lack of practice. I've been dealing with a wrist injury. So when you're not practicing that often, you're prone to make more mistakes and not know the right solutions. So I just need to be playing a lot more. And it kind of is what it is. Like, take a look at this whole first stock. Impala does so well in advantage state here. Huge end light, just right off the get-go. This is a crazy punish option. This guy recognized that I'm unarmed side lighting and then goes to stacked end light punish. That's interesting. And then gets a dodge read. That's confirmed. Tries to go for one more confirm because I didn't have a dodge. Slightly doesn't line up, right? But look at this center stage control. The moment I go to get the weapon, he is not waiting. He keeps pressuring, right? Goes towards me, right? And is that in that perfect, again, that like positioning, like look at the spacing, for instance, right? Okay, I'll show you. What are my options on axe? Okay, I got like an axe side light here, an end light here, maybe a dash end light here, D light, nair. I can't hit him, right? But he can hit me with a down light. So I'm more scared than he is. That's why I dash jump. Plus on the side of the map. And then baits out that dodge from just pure positioning and then just reacts with a really nice side light and then tries to keep going. Now I'm stuck trying to reset. Nice little unarmed recovery. Nice Sarah from me. This is really bad from me. I'm kind of over committing, getting too close stacked with him. I should have been further to the left on stage holding that stage control, and I lost it because of that. Then I went for a nair here because we were close to stacked. And I just want some tempo. The nair wasn't a bad option because I was a couple frames from actually landing it. But he just reacted with a side light just a couple frames too early. Same with the snare here. I do it more for tempo, but he just, again, safe, smart solution, right? And then that end sig again, really great end sig, and then boom. And then that's the stock. It's just making the right decision and optimizing your gameplay or game plan. Impala doesn't have some crazy reaction time, He doesn't do anything that, like, is subhuman. But he makes sure that, like, everything he does is, like, as optimized as possible. He's basically trying to, like, program a computer in his brain. I don't know if you watch Blue Lock with these puzzle pieces. Each puzzle piece is, like, a solution. That's kind of, like, what pros do. And it's how many puzzle pieces, how many solutions and mistakes can you kind of fill in your game plan. And how many can you recognize? You can only recognize the ones one at a time, but... You get what I'm trying to say here. And there are some mistakes, like this side air was pure greed, right? I'm going for the recovery. This weapon throw into a side air is just greed misinput. I get the kill, right? And then that enables me to get back into the game. So there are mistakes from a world champion. There are ways to beat this man and everybody. But the hard thing is coming up with solutions to different problems. Everyone creates different problems with different weapons and game plan. Like for me, I do this weapon throw and then move to the left because the weapon throw will put some space between me and the landing option. Meanwhile, I can do this on every single weapon except bow, where he perfectly spaces around the weapon toss downwards and then immediately downlights to cover that very far horizontal range. Very smart solution, which I wasn't prepared to take that problem into consideration, right? So it just kind of, again, comes with just answering, you know, coming up with the right solution. That's all about this video is, like, the biggest difference. I like this high level, it's just optimization. It's like you're coding an AI that's your brain. That's, like, the only way to put it. Like here as well, I didn't need to go for this nair. If I waited a second and realized he dodged in, I could have delighted. This is a dumb reaction for me. Right? That sidelights tempo, that's all fine. Ground pound was actually really good. Especially I need to come back into this game. This nair was slightly tempo. It's also not a bad idea compared to his positioning. But, yeah. That's unfortunate that dare hit me. But it makes sense. It has like a splash hitbox. This is good. He dodged out of it. Did he get out because of the direction he dodged? Because if you dodge that way, you get out of it without being in iframes. Yeah, he's not even in iframes yet. He just dodges out in the movement. That's another problem I wasn't prepared to. Because I thought the dare would be confirmed there. Because it's true. But you can, if you dodge in that direction, you get out of it. Like, he just found a solution, right? So then it's like, okay, now I need to adapt to that solution because you're creating a problem for myself, and now I need to not go for that. You know, it's like, you get what I'm trying to say. I will say the more broken weapons, though, are the ones where those problems are easier to solve. And that's, like, the best way to put it. It's hard to judge that because not everyone plays every single weapon. But yeah. That was really clean from Apollo. Just smart strategy, whatnot. I adapted. I definitely should have won the following match. We're not going to review this, but like at this point, like it's pretty even. You know, I'm like super happy with it. This meant to be a recovery. If this is a recovery, this hits. It just he's jumping towards the stage. It would have been the stock, especially he's on the right side already. Yeah, I'm great at Brawlhalla. And you can see the difference in the very end was like just that one interaction. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. Just had to vent that pain at the end a little bit, but thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care. Peace.